Hey, hey, and welcome to Chatting with C. I am your host, Miss C. Hey. Um, just stopping in to drop a little word this good Monday that I felt was important. I don't know why it is popped up, but for whatever reason, I'm supposed to talk about it. So I'm going to talk about it. Um, I want to talk about growth and what it really means, right? We're on a journey of becoming our best selves, right? This is the year of you, 2022, right? This is the year of growth, of expansion, of breaking down old and building new and growing, evolving, right? I keep using the word evolving, and I didn't even realize just how deep evolving was. But last year, I got a tattoo of the tree of life, which I don't know why I was connected to the tree. But in it, I also got the words always evolving because for me, I knew I was growing and I knew that throughout my life, I had been growing all the time, right? Like just evolving to new levels. And so I got it tatted just like, oh, I'm always evolving, just kind of like a woo kind of deal. And now I realize, like, no, really, I'm always evolving. Like, we really are always growing and evolving, or at least we should be, right? Because that's how we become our best selves. That's how we tap into the greatness that we really truly are. That's how we break free of the conditioned mind and expand ourselves to really be able to be great and awesome in who we are. So you have to be growing, right? Like you can't be afraid of growth. You can't be afraid to learn. You can't be afraid of knowledge. You can't be afraid to share. You can't be afraid to say, I don't know. That's part of growth, right? The ability to actually say, hey, I need help. This is an area that's not working for me is in itself is growth, right? And you're able to expand through that knowledge and through that experience to use it later in life. So, growth is super important. It is a starting point for anything is realizing that growth needs to happen. Um and I'll just back it up just a little bit here, okay? What is growth? Like, what does that even mean, right? So, the definition that they have, which I think is a good one, it says the process of increasing in physical size. Growth, right? Like you plant a tree or a seed and you watch it grow into physical size. It becomes really big, right? So, you can physically see that change, that growth, right? It's also the act or process or manner of growing, development, gradual increase. Same thing, right? Some growth you don't physically see necessarily, but it doesn't mean it hasn't happened or that it's not happening. And if you look around us, everything has the capability to grow and to evolve. The world is growing and evolving. It has always been growing and evolving through time, right? Like the world didn't just start growing, it didn't just start expanding, like because I became a part of this life, like your parents' life, their parents, your grandparents, our ancestors, like the world started in a particular way and it's grown and it has evolved to where we are today. That includes from nature aspect, that includes from a personal physical aspect as far as like people, that includes our technology and science has evolved. All of those things have evolved, right? Like that's part of life, that's part of nature. So even we as people get to grow and evolve as well. Like all it's happening all the time. However, the ability to grow is highly connected to your environment in which how you will grow. If you put negativity somewhere and plant a seed in there, and the environment is negative, the environment is toxic, the environment is actually not conducive to a healthy and positive growth, the seed that you have planted or whatever is in that environment will not actually grow. it will stay the same. Like, it will stay the same. No matter what's happening, it will stay the same. Or it will not grow. And in that, it will die. Okay? Like, that's connected to the environment. And if you look around the world, you can see that there are a lot of places where there's a lot of negativity going on and there's no growth happening. And people are staying very stagnant, or people are dying in that negative environment, right? Because it's not an environment that is conducive to growth, to positive growth and change. Now, if on the flip is also the flip side, right? Like there's two coins, right? There's two sides to everything. So the other side is if you place something in a positive environment that's healthy, that's got water, that's got good soil, it is more likely to actually grow and evolve into what it is supposed to be, or what it already is, because when you planted it, it already was what it's going to actually grow and evolve to be. Ooh, that was good. Yeah, that is. Okay. Did you catch that? Don't let that go over your head. What you planted was already what it's going to be once it evolves and grows. And if it's in the right environment, it has a better chance. But it doesn't just grow because it's in the right environment. You have to actually water it. You have to actually change the soil of the dirt. You have to actually continue to be growing for it to continue to evolve into what it is meant to be, right? So growth as people, that is growth. That is literally growth for us. Like, that is tapping in and saying, like, okay, growth happens when there's an awareness that something is needed, or that something is not happening, like there's a void somewhere, or that an idea or belief in the something can be better is where growth starts to happen. So when you see people like plant like gardens, let's just say, in an impoverished area, there's a belief or an idea, there's a feeling that there's a void that needs to be met, or there's an idea that something can be better. And so growth happens in that, and growth happens like that for us as people. We become aware that what we're doing is okay, and yes, it's fine, but there's something more. There's something else that's missing. Like, there's a void there. There's a belief that things can be better, that I can be better, that I can expand on a different level. Once we become aware of that, once that becomes aware that, like, there's a void, there's something missing, there's something that I can do, then the growth can start, right? Because you're already planted, you're already a seed, but there's no actual real growth happening. You're only getting a little bit, right? Like, you haven't actually peeked through the dirt, in essence. You're just still the seed, which is fine in your environment. You're just kind of making it. It's okay. Nothing wrong. But you realize, like, well, hold on. I want to be big. I want to expand. Like, I want to fulfill something. So then you become connected to the idea of growth. And then you start to plant a picture. This is the next big piece, right? Is a clear idea of who you are and what you want to be. Who you are right now today is totally fine, right? Like, that is awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. But where you want to go and how you see your future self and what you're going to be doing, you have to be able to see that, right? Like, I know there's more. Let me see what more there is, right? And now that you realize that there's something more that you want to do, you can start to put in the work to be able to grow and evolve into that picture that you like, much like a person who goes out and sees some open land and decides, I want to plant a garden. I want to plant this garden because it's going to help the community, or I'm going to be able to eat when I'm hungry. And they have the idea now, and now they're looking at this blank piece of land, of dirt, and they've decided, okay, I'm going to plant some seeds out here. And if I plant some seeds out here, it's going to grow into a garden, and then I'm going to be able to actually feed myself and give food away, and I can have this kind of food and that kind of food over there, and I can do this and I can do that. And so now they have a clear idea of what they're working towards. So when they go out into that land, it's no longer just, well, what do we do? They actually have a plan. Like, okay, Now I can start doing some stuff to grow and evolve this space, just like you. So, in growth, understand that it's okay to be where you are. But to get to the next levels, you have to be aware of the void. You have to have the belief that there's something bigger. And then you want to start asking yourself, what do I see? Who do I want to be? Like, when I bust out of this small seed and I like expand huge, what is it going to look like? What am I going to be doing? Who do I want to be? Because then you can start building the foundational blocks that you need to get there. Then you can start doing the work. And that's the piece where people be like, oh, I'm doing the work. And it's like, okay, but do you really understand the work? Because if you don't have a clear idea of where you're going and what you're trying to do, you're just spinning your wheels. I'm just being honest. You're just spinning your wheels. You're not really advancing like you'd really like because you don't even have an idea of where you're going or what you're trying to do. And that's okay because you understand that there's something there. But once you really tap into that, then you really start having to do the work, which is then accountability. Awareness is the first thing. And then you start doing some accountability and some acceptance. And then you start deciding to take some action. Those are my 4 A's. I don't know if you've probably seen one of my videos where I've actually talked about those a little bit, but I just wanted to kind of talk about that a little bit, that in order to grow, you have to know that there's something that you want to expand and that there's a belief that you can, and then to start looking at it and saying, okay, who am I and who do I want to be? When I look at my future and I look at myself, who am I? Who is that person that's standing there? What is she doing? Right? Because now I can start building towards that. And now the work begins, because in that are going to come some heavy questions. It's going to come some heavy situations to deal with. It's going to come some real challenges to overcome. It's going to be really accepting yourself for who you are and where you are, so that the growth can continue to go for you, so that you can evolve. So if you are on this journey and you have been doing the work and you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not growing, or what happens now, keep doing the work. Keep asking those questions. Keep digging. Keep exploring. Once your brain decides that there's more, you're able to really explore off of that and in that space and start working with it. Understand that who you see yourself to be and who you are growing and watering yourself for is already planted. You are already that person. You are already this person. You're not about to morph from a human being into a tree because planted the seed, you're not a tree. You're already the person that you want to be. What you're going to do is you're going to water yourself, and you are going to do the work to actually evolve and become the better, best version of who you already are. Don't let that go over your head. Oh my gosh. Yes, I know. That's wild. Can you even? Yes. Okay. Yes. You are already it. You just need to continue to explore it and continue to build on it so that you can actually show up as yourself every day in that space, taking up space, growth, the increasing in physical size. No, I'm not going to grow taller, but my light and my energy is going to be bigger in size, that people are going to know that I'm taking up space. And not because I became somebody completely different, but because I actually cultivated and actually put in the work to actually grow the person, and the person that was already inside, that had already been planted in me, to become who it is I am now. And it's the same thing for you. It's not anything that's so crazy out the box that only certain people get to do. We all are able to do it. And growth, when people say keep doing the work, keep going, that's what it means. It means to keep exploring. It means to keep watering. It means to flip the dirt sometimes. It means to try a different kind of watering technique to see if that works. It means to make sure that you're planting yourself in an environment that's actually conducive to what you're trying to do. I can't be my best self in a negative environment. I cannot be my best self if I'm surrounded by negative people, by negative thoughts, by negative activities. It does not work. Like, I will, yes, be able to probably hold. Yeah, I probably can make it. I mean, most of us do, right? You just kind of surviving. You just surviving. But when you get out of survival mode and you decide that you want to thrive, that is the awareness that growth needs to happen. And in order for that, you may need to pick yourself up and move yourself out of your comfort zone. You may need to pick yourself up and move yourself out of your neighborhood, away from certain people, so that you have an opportunity to be able to water and grow in a space that's actually more in alignment with where you're trying to go and how you see your future self. Don't miss that. Don't let that go over your head, okay? So that's all I wanted to do today. The growth video, or the growth topic, was on my brain. And I guess the question was too, because I posted it on my social media, Facebook and Instagram, chatting _with_CI. I posted that just as my reels, the question for people to really contemplate today or this week is, who are you? Who do you see your future self? Like, what are you doing? And to start really becoming aware so you can start growing and evolving like you'd like to, so that you can actually reach your full potential, so you can actually be the best version of you, so you can actually have the life that you really want. It all starts right there. Like, it literally starts. So that's where I'm going to start with the videos going forward now. We have got the awareness down. We understand that we want to grow. We understand that we want to evolve. And so now we're going to walk through those steps. And through that process together, I've done it. I'm continuing to do it. If you are still here on earth, there is still something to evolve. There is still growth to happen. If you stop growing, or if you stop trying to explore and trying to be your best self, then you might as well just go ahead and just not even be here, because that don't even make sense. If you know everything and you don't need to learn anything else in life, like you have mastered every piece of life and there is no more growth for you, like you are 100% perfect, then why are you still here? Why are you still connected to people? Why are people still connected to you? Because there's something for you to continue to evolving and growing. That's just a fact. So do what you will with it. You can choose to not grow. You can choose to stay in a safe space, in a complacent world, and that's totally fine. That's your choice. That's your option. I'm going to be real honest with you. I'm not for you. I'm probably not your person that you want to follow. I'm not the person that you want to talk to one-on-one. I am not the person that you want to come see at a conference or a workshop. Like, I'm not the person, because I don't operate in that space. I operate in a space of growth and evolution, and trying to help people grow and evolve, and working on myself to do that. So I will tell you now that this is not going to be the space or the channel for you. So take it how you will. For those of you who want to continue growing and you want to discover and see, like, who can I really be? Like, let me see what I could really do. I'm for you, and you for me. You got me? Awesome. Well, I hope you have a great day and a great week. I actually don't have a quote today. Oh my God, imagine that. More so because I did the definition of growth, and that, you can look that up for yourself and see which definition resonates to you or inspires you when it comes to growth. But I just wanted to put that out there so that we can, keep evolving and keep growing. So have a great and marvelous Monday and an amazing week, and I will catch you later.